Hi, Bendigo Baptist Church. I am here to share something that God has laid on my heart to share with you, and that is to go forward, which I think we want to do. We need to look behind us and remember what God has done. It sounds completely counterproductive, or not exactly what the world tells us to do. The world's always telling us we need to look ahead and we need to look forward, and going forward we need to do this. But really, for us, it's turned on our heads with God. He directs us and He wants us to remember what He has done. Even in communion, He's asking us to do that often, to remember Him, to remember what He has done. And I think the idea of remembering is to help us to trust Him in this time. I was struck by reading Psalm 78 just recently on how much the Israelites just almost kept forgetting what God had done, that He'd parted the Red Sea, that He'd delivered them from Egypt, that He'd given them food from heaven, that He'd done countless miracles for them. But they kept forgetting, and he was keen for them to not forget. The Passover is all about remembering that He passed over them so that they wouldn't die. I think for us, we need to be looking back and seeing God's faithfulness in our own life. I was reflecting with a friend the other day on my conversion, and as tears welled in my eyes, I thought about how much God had done for me over the last 34 years. And it just was a snowball effect of just remembering His provision, His clear direction, and the forgiveness and the transformations He'd done, the healing and the answered prayers, just over and over and over again in my life. God has been faithful and never let me down. And I think it's a command for us to look back and go, He has been faithful. It's like being in a rowboat. When you're in a rowboat, you look back where you've been. You look back at where the shoreline was, and you put your oars deep into the water and you pull and you go forward. We don't really need to know what is ahead. We can trust God with that. But as we put our oars deep into the life that God has given us and look back and remember what He's done, we will move forward. And we can move forward with confidence because God has never let us down. As it says in Psalm 143 verse 5, I remember the days of old. I meditate on all that you have done. I ponder the work of your hands. And I hope that would be true for you today. Remember what God has done in your life. Bye.